Salam everyone and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining. For this video, I'm going to be doing a story time. So basically, I will be speaking about the time when Allah kind of spoke to me or gave me a sign just after I had reverted to Islam. This experience was super meaningful to me and it was super deep, and I thought that I should share with you guys because subhanallah, it's really an amazing story. Just for a background, if this is your first time watching, I am a revert to Islam, meaning I was not born Muslim. In fact, I was born Jewish into a Jewish family, and then I decided to convert to Islam about 4.5 years ago. So that's just for context. So anyways, I remember particularly one night I was trying to fall asleep, but I was having difficulty falling asleep because I was just overthinking too much. And I'm sure you guys all have those nights where you want to go to sleep, but you're overthinking something, and it's preventing you from falling asleep. So basically, that's what was happening to me. I had just converted to Islam or reverted to Islam. And I just had a lot of stress and anxiety related to, my family and friends and just my life in general. So I remember worrying about things like, how will I tell my family? When will I tell my family? What will the reaction be? And the same thing for my friends. How will I tell them? How will they react? Will things change? At that point, I was kind of living a double life. I was, regular, same old Jewish girl at home, but then in secret, I was, practicing Islam. I was praying. I was reading Quran. I was doing Ramadan, And I was also worried, what if my family gets really angry? What if they want nothing to do with me? I really doubted that would happen because I know my mom is compassionate and considerate and loves me regardless. But it was still a worry in my mind. And I was thinking about, how will I get married? How will I introduce, a Muslim man to my family? When I have kids, how will that work? How will my family accept me being Muslim and having Muslim children? And it was just basically these kind of worries over and over in my head, just repeating themselves and preventing me from falling asleep. And as I was stressing out, I was also making dua. I was making supplication for God and asking him for help and saying, please help me in this. Please, aid me in this journey of being a Muslim and coming out to my family and being more open, and please make this experience easy for me. At that point in time, it was about 3 a.m. and I still couldn't fall asleep. And the more I tried to shut off my brain, the harder it was to sleep, as you can imagine. So for some reason, as I was trying to fall asleep and as I was stressing out about, my life, I had this voice in my head, which was my own voice, that just kept repeating 2214, 2214, 2214, over and over again. And I kept trying to shut this voice down, but it kept persisting. And the more I kept hearing 2214, the more I came to the realization that this sounded like it would be a Quran verse, chapter 2, verse 214. But the other part of me was like, girl, you're crazy. Just go to sleep and shut off your brain. And I tried to dismiss this. I was like, okay, stop it. But the voice kept repeating 2214, 2214. So at that point, I felt like I had to look into it. And I was telling myself, if I don't look into it, then I'm not going to fall asleep. It's just going to kill me. I'm not going to be able to fall asleep knowing that I didn't look into, a possible sign. So anyways, I decided to go on the internet, pull up my phone and Google Quran 2214. And this is what I found. So subhanallah, just before I show you what the verse say, I want to let this be known that I did not know the Quran very well. I definitely did not know the Quran by heart, and I did not know verses by heart. So there was no way of knowing that this verse was actually meaningful to my situation. But subhanallah and wallah al-adim, wallahi, this is what happened, and this is the verse. So I'm going to pull up the verse right here on the screen, but meanwhile, I will attempt to read in Arabic, and then I will read it in English for those of you who don't speak Arabic well enough, just like me. So, Surah Al-Baqarah, Ayah 214. أم حسبتم أن تدخلوا الجنة ولما ياتكم مثل الذين خالوا من قبلكم مصاتهم البساو والدراو وزلزلوا حتى حتى يقول الرسول الذين آمنوا معه متى نصر الله إلا إن نصر الله قريب. And in English, do you think you will be admitted into paradise without being tested like those before you? They were afflicted with suffering and adversity, and were so violently shaken that even the messenger and the believers with them cried out, "When will Allah's help come? Indeed, Allah's help is always near." And just for some context on this verse, in the verse right before, 2:213, as you can see in this last sentence, it says, "And Allah guides whomever He wills to the straight path." So, subhanAllah, I felt so blessed that Allah had chosen me to guide me to the straight path, because it's Allah in the end of the day who guides everyone. You can do your research, you can learn about Islam from anybody, anyone can help you convert, but in the end, it's Allah who guides people to the straight path. So, subhanAllah, I get like emotional every time I like read this verse or I think about this story. As you can see, or maybe if you can't tell, this verse is speaking about the first Muslims when they first accepted Islam, and they were afflicted with suffering and adversity and were so violently shaken that even the messenger was asking, when will the help of Allah come? And indeed, Allah told them that the help of Allah is near. So Allah is here and He will help. And subhanAllah, I found that this was so amazing because this was so like relevant to what was happening in my life. And as for any Muslim, whether you are born Muslim or you revert to Islam, you have sometimes these feelings of, am I doing the right decision? Am I on the right path? And subhanAllah, when I had this sign from God and when Allah spoke to me through this way, I knew for sure that like this was it. Like this is the truth. I had like a personal experience with this, and I've seen videos online of people getting signs from Allah, subhanallah, and I had always wished, like I wish I had a sign for me. Not that I didn't believe, but it would just, reinforce my belief that much more. So Allah saw me and He understood my hardships, and Allah sent me this message and sent me this sign in order to help me. And for that, I am so grateful. And anytime I have like a dip in my iman, I think back to this moment and I know that Islam is the ultimate truth and there's no way to like explain it. So anyways, this was the story of the sign that Allah gave me, and it makes me emotional every time I think about it, and to me it was such a meaningful and deep experience, so I thought I can share it with you all, and I hope this was interesting to you. And yeah, thank you so much for watching and have a nice day, and come back for more videos.